difference between the lives of an average American child and the lives of child soldiers in war-torn countries is astonishing. Currently, according to Peace Direct, there's anywhere between 250,000 to 300,000 children serving as child soldiers in armed conflict. It is considered a war crime to recruit children under the age of 15, but in war-affected areas, most kids recruited are as young as 8 years old.
Children are recruited as soldiers because they have many desirable traits. Children can easily be manipulated and are willing to play a daring combat role because they do not have a highly developed sense of danger.
In the war-affected areas, a majority of the population consists of children, making them available and replaceable.
The military commanders have an effortless time convincing kids to take roles in the front lines, where they participate in suicide missions and run around to try to draw the enemy's fire.
Children require little to no payment and do not need or eat nearly as much food as an average soldier.
Very few child soldiers join armed conflict voluntarily, but if they do, they join in hopes of food, protection, and to escape poverty.
Other than those reasons, most children are recruited by force. Kids get abducted while at school, on streets, or even at home. Some kids are forced to kill their parents and neighbors so they can't return back to their community.
Food and money are awarded for each new recruitment brought in by civilians, police officers, and/or soldiers. If reluctant to join the war, Army officials and police officers threaten to send the kids to jail.
According to Human Rights Watch, advancements in technology makes operating weapons easy, and lightweight automatic weapons are increasing the use of child soldiers.
The jobs child soldiers are forced to participate in vary greatly. One day they might be working as a messenger or a spy, and the next day they're placed in life-threatening jobs such as in combat and laying or clearing landmines.
40% of all child soldiers are girls. Girls are typically used as cooks, maids, and sex slaves. Some girls are given to military commanders to be used as wives.
Child soldiers are used in every region of the world. Child soldiers are used in roughly 14 war-torn countries.
Afghanistan, Burma, Central African Republic, Chad, Colombia, Democratic Republic of Congo, India, Iraq, Philippines, Somalia, Sudan, Thailand, and Yemen are all areas that have used or are currently using child soldiers in their armed forces.
The children take extreme measures to escape the armed forces. Many try to commit suicide because they know if they try to escape, they will most likely be caught. In the event that a child is caught trying to run away, they are imprisoned, shot, beaten, or stabbed.
According to Human Rights Watch, the United States is working to pass laws to prevent the use of child soldiers and to rehabilitate and assist children who have been in armed conflict.
The law is called the Child Soldier Protection Act. The U.S. is providing asylum and refugee protection for former child soldiers.
In some countries, programs have been made for former child soldiers where they can locate their families, get back into school, and reintegrate back into society.
The International Rescue Committee provides protection, emotional support, and health care to children who have been demobilized or escaped the armed forces.
The IRC strengthens local schools so there are places for the former armed forces to learn an environment in which they feel safe.
Currently, the IRC has programs to aid child soldiers in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Uganda, and Burundi.
In Sierra Leone, they've come to realize that the use of child soldiers is wrong and explained, the court in Sierra Leone ruled in 2004 that recruiting child soldiers is a war crime and has begun prosecutions.
UNICEF played a major role in taking children out of armed conflict. Since 1998, about 100,000 child soldiers have been taken out of conflict. In 2008 and 2009 alone, UNICEF reintegrated more than 24,000 former child soldiers.
Even after the former child soldiers are released from combat, and after the involvement of multiple countries and corporations, the children are faced with terrifying memories and haunting nightmares.
Catching up on a childhood, snatched away by violence and fear. These are former child soldiers fresh from the killing fields of Congo. They have been put in this temporary care facility in Goma town to await reunification with their families. To while away time, some dance, some paint, and others play football. Militia brigades abducted them and compelled them to become soldiers, porters, and sex slaves. Battered and beaten, many are forced by age 10 to decide whether to kill or be killed.
Children who experience conflict for a long period of time suffer psychosomatic symptoms such as nightmares, insomnia, and aggressive behavior. Once escaped or removed from war, children are in a state of shock and need immediate psychological attention. The children need to rejoin their families and slowly begin to heal. In Liberia, 65% of former soldiers suffer major depression disorders and have thought of suicide to escape their daunting memories, while 90% display post-traumatic stress disorders. After being pulled out of conflict, children struggle to adapt to civilian life. Most find themselves unable to determine the difference between right and wrong. Many child soldiers are not receiving international attention, and many are hopeful that some sort of aid comes to drag them out of this nightmare.
You're just a fool to believe you can change the world. You're just a fool to believe you can change the world. Oh, what you gonna do when you're watching TV and an ad comes on? Yeah, you know the kind, flashing up pictures of a child in need.